some smokes. As soon as they start getting to nade range, it's a lot easier. Right now, it is hard to throw those grenades because the arc doesn't support them, as it will just swing past, and they've got to hit the perfect air bounce. But you can see here, they are just going long. That one was much nicer.
Yeah, I feel like that might be the time that Alpha 7 try and pull the trigger on this fight. A lot of damage done there. First aid's furiously coming through, but Revo lands the nade on the knock, and now it's just Moana backed into a corner. Nowhere to go. Alpha 7 able to choke the game to a chicken dinner.
You really took the time with it as well. And that is a lovely cake. And I was 100% certain they were going to win, and they did.
So true.
But very, very well done. Very, very well done to Alpha 7. I think I really like that. I think for Alter Ego as well, there's been a string of pretty good games. And again, they are such a fantastic squad, but there is mistakes being made right now. And I think that but the thing is if they're able to fix those mistakes, if they're able to plaster that up, they'd be insane. They'd actually be insane.
I think, to be fair though, the same could be said for quite a few of our teams here coming on into these finals. It has been ups and downs across the board, but this is certainly a high note for Alpha 7.
Thailand at 7 for the first time. Let us hear it.
Do Brasil! Get that win, and boy, I mean, it seems like they just mimic exactly what Dick Savers has been able to do. Because in this one, they were, to be completely honest, they were blessed by the circle. Something I do have to point out there from Alpha 7 that I enjoy seeing as it got later into the match, and they realized, you know what, we are actually getting this compound. We don't necessarily have to move back. Yeah. They did a 2-2 split, and they made sure they had 2 players on different buildings to stop any type of crashes and to have different angles as well. Great play from Alpha 7.
It just allows you to have information of incoming crashes pretty much instantly because of that 2-2 split. And also, the compound they were holding on to, 7, is so flat all around it, you'll see teams coming from a mile away. So that position was very strong. I think we've seen so many wins actually from Alpha 7 in that very particular area. So they're very experienced because guess what? They're normally
PMGC.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to, I mean, as you said, maximize point scoring, right? Which is generally the goal overall. And that doesn't necessarily mean maximizing chicken dinners. So that could be the approach that they're taking. And as you said, it's paying off in some respects. They're on 48 points right now, still very much in the contest for top spots towards that top of the tables. Obviously, Alpha 7 streaking out a little bit to rejoin DXavier. Ulf as well catching up. But on this northeast side, or actually further east now, as they head further down towards Prison, towards Lipovka. The Prison-Lipovka split drop. They will be getting on with it. And as we said before, right, Rosemary, highest LM count, 19 on the cards, but they are being punished for it. There is a price to be paid for the amount of damage that Rosemary's done to this lobby.
There is. I think it's a very good way to put it, right? Is that it's 4.1k damage that he's done. 4.2k if we round up, which we do like rounding up here.
Yeah, just round up.
But I think for Rosemary, sure, he does all that damage, but it really hasn't translated to end-game finishes so far. Which leads me to believe that although that damage is going through, how much of that damage is efficient damage? How much of that damage is successful damage that goes through into one engagement? That is what's worrying for me, for the boys over on Alter Ego.
And as we said, right, he has the most elims in the tournament right now, Blank, but they're dead middle of the pack. And that is that's not really where you want to find yourself on such a performance, especially with plenty of teams looking to try and exceed you, try and go a little bit further beyond. Our circle, we didn't talk about it, and we will continue not to talk about it. It did go west this time around. Gatka Fields, again, are we going to once more be shunted north, 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 up towards the river, or is it going to be a little bit more expected here? I don't expect you to be able to answer that. By the way, that was rhetorical. That was a question for the viewers at home. Put it in the chat.
Well, I was actually thinking about it, and that's why I paused, because I was like, I don't really know how to answer that. That's got me stumped. DRX that are fairly central right now.
Ooh.
Alter Ego are fine. And ain't no one but Rosemary to find that first unit. Again, I want to reiterate that I do really like this team, and I think they have a huge amount of potential. So it's a team that frustrates me because I think they can be so much more. There is also a question is whether it's or not that Krypton, Moana, and Alva can't keep up with Rosemary right now. You know, that is another question. Although, I think that I can answer that one just off the back of that rondo, where you have Krypton in front, Moana slowly pushing in, and then they have to change their whole game style because Rosemary, out of nowhere, crashes onto Kara, even though they know there are angles on that position. So it means they have to completely change up how they're performing in the middle of that engagement because of Rosemary getting overexcited there. So I think there's just a bit of a disconnect. And it is a hard disconnect because Rosemary is so good at the game. So you as three players, like, are we the problem? I do think there just needs to be a conversation had where they all sit down and they say, hey, yes, you're sick of the game, but we got to play together.
You just got to say, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all you got to say. You got to say it loud. And make sure that everyone hears it. Get everyone on the same page. I was looking at Regnum Kai's rotate during that blank. They were all the way over towards Rostock, but they got very, very central. Again, we know that they love to be there, right in the middle of the circle. They really had a tough time in crates on that last match, though. I guess who else is in the middle of this circle with them?
Oh,
I'll tell you, it's DXavier.
It's DXavier.
They are right there with them too, alongside on that north side of Gatka Fields towards Ruins on that north edge.
As everyone's bringing up the disparity between the elims and the placement points is pretty wild for DXavier. You're basically flipping the script there when you look at Alpha 7's points in terms of eliminations to placement points. Do you have a PMGC redemption code again on your screen? It is PUBGXPubGM. So if you're just tuning in now, make sure you get in your game and claim that reward.
Don't want to let that one slip through your fingers. Make sure you're getting all those goodies that we're providing you, as our teams try and get any goodies that the other teams are trying their best not to provide them. That is the main task here on the biggest stage of the year. Marceau can't get the spray down on towards Goat Team, and they will be able to get through as two. onto this location. They already lost Killer Joe earlier. That was the classic Rosemary flex out. Of course it was, to be able to get the only elim so far. Adding that one onto his tally. APG just leaving the military island now.
Getting into it. They had a lot of time to work with as well, considering the circle penned in a little bit of the southern side of Erangel, so they didn't have to get moving straight away. It does mean they have to play a little bit more over towards the edge side of the circle here. DXAV on a bit more of a split. But RCB, I think that they are just one big game away from getting in towards the top 5, or even maybe the top 3, if they can really put those points underneath their belt during one game.
Yeah, about 20 points out of that pack, and that's exactly what you need, right? That's a solid chicken dinner, right? 10 elims,
yeah.
Get that chicken dinner.
They are setting themselves up for it every single match as well. It's just been, they've not been able to control the center as well as they'd quite like.
They're kind of like the anti-alter ego in that way, right? Not really going for those big flex outs at the moment, but not trying to sweep through the edge. They're trying to do something, but it's not quite coming through, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, well, they are trying to go for the consistent playstyle.
Yeah.
Sadly, a lot of their rotations have been cut out every single time. And I think it is because this is such a central-orientated lobby right now. You've got DXAV here, which for Regnum Kaya, they've not really had to deal with this team constantly being in the peripheries of them all the time, which must be quite frustrating, always like looking to your left and being like, oh, that's DXAV. Our nasty neighbours
Got a lot of these
inside
guys.
the circle. Yeah, exactly. So I think for Regnum Kaya, definitely do just need, I think it's rotation 2 that they sort of suck on right now. If I'm honest.
Oh! No, it's happened again!
We're going back up there.
Oh, this can't be doing this twice to the lobby. This is nasty. I mean, it's still cut down the middle by the river, but it keeps a lot of the north side in. I mean, it is malicious at this point. Is this circle the new military island circle?
Yeah.
Is that what we're seeing?
I do think that this is a bit of a different one from our last, though, where we'd cut in a lot more of Everest, a lot more Hospital, which means that so many teams need to flow up through Ruins now. This is a massive funnel for squads at the moment. Very stressful for a lot of teams, and it's going to get messy real quick. Rotation 2 for Regnum Kaya, though. Does it still suck?
We'll have to wait and see, because it might slam straight into this fight that we're on board with. Silas, you can see him just off there in the distance. The Mad Bulls looking to keep hold of the east side of the Ruin split. Control that. Meanwhile, on Everest, Vampire sit atop the pack. DRX are playing along that ridgeline too. No knocks sent their way, but So Easy has to back off. Oh, that's off in the distance. That's over towards Alter Ego. Fabian giving them a broadside target on that. That is not during this fight. That is over towards the Roshok Bridge. The branch is over that central island on the circle. And the fight at a little bit of a standstill on the top.
Yeah, Fabian going down there is a bit odd. I guess that he just jumps out of the vehicle and tries to use that forward momentum flying out from the windshield towards the rest of his team. And it works, right? One of those comedic approaches towards the rest of your squad. They've still got to go further on this, though. Thunder Talk, again, wide wrapping, and they love to do this, right? Try about 1 billion ribbons in this circle.
Well, they have to give it a go. Thunder Talk, entertaining to watch, I think, is the way to characterize this team. Something that you highlighted during yesterday's games. And they are trying to sweep up on this eastern side. Currently 2 players north of the river. Looks like King and Xing yet to regroup. And to be fair, you don't need to commit to the north at this point, right? You can play on this eastern edge as long as you're confident that nobody's going to sweep through. And with Team Flash, you know where they are. You played up against them last match on a very similar rotation. I feel like holding the north side of Roshok for Thunder Talk on a 2-2 split might be a solid idea.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea at all for Thunder Talk. They are fairly split, though, which is a little bit worrisome for the squad. But either way, you are right in the sense that they're controlling a lot of zone. And I think that they understand there's not a lot of teams over on this eastern side. Most teams want to litter themselves across Ruins, across Watertown, across Headshot Hills, up towards Box Compound for Alpha 7, this is a really nice circle for them. Heads further towards that north side. And now Thundertalks can regroup, right? Thundertalks can head up towards that north side with the rest of the team. Look a little bit prettier on this one. Big chance for the flash here, but a disgusting approach for everyone on that south side. It is a really, really nasty approach where you are elbow to elbow with so many squads.
Oh, Regnum nearly have a little trouble with Ulf, but Loxy able to lay down so much damage. Solus goes down as well, and Ulf are on the ropes here, Blank. One player now left standing. He can't get his head up off the ground either to go for these reses. Finally, the smoke starts to bloom, and maybe they'll start to be able to look for it, but he's still down on his belt buckle, needs to hide for a moment longer. Regnum Kaya need to get those reses as well, and there's more threat from the northern side. The mad dash up over the river continues with D+, slamming straight back into Sunken.
Yeah, I mean, D+ just had to reassess this as Mad Bulls immediately move out with force. Very tough stuff for Regnum Kaya. They got to start checking their other angles as well because they can't fully focus over towards E Arena. It's going to get worse. It's going to get hotter on that bridge soon. D+, 2 down.
Pusher cut across on the swipe, and it's just chips now for D+ to try and stay alive. Not going to connect on that flush. And chips, just get out of there, or maybe try and commit for a point. But don't just stand at a distance. Don't just look for it like that. Nade over the top, maybe the last-ditch attempt to find you something. Not going to go all the way either. Oh, the point stolen. That goes over to... Oh, no, wait. No, that is still the Mad Bulls. They are still there. The picture, though, shows Regnum Kaya trying to go for this River 2-2 split. We've seen them try and do it before, but they're having some trouble on the back there. They're needing to get that pickup going. Ulf now with a nade. Could be nasty. That north point taken out would be disastrous for Regnum Kaya, but the cook's not quite long enough for Scarface. He's denied that opportunity to get that knock and flash. Now Wild and Zed Wolf will be the northern answer to that Silas and Loxy south side.
I think Regnum Kaya, they know they need to make their way across here. They also have to cut sight lines from E Arena. I love what they're doing with this as well because they knew they had to take a different approach on this angle. They will have to deal with R8 shortly, who are coming out still from crates. And they will know that, as they had a bad run-in with them last game.
A little bit of trouble for Alpha 7 on the run up towards the GOAT team shack, but it will go down. They can take a knock in the process. Calming it down now for Regnum Kaya. As I said during that fight, right, they like playing these 2-2 splits across river positions. Scarface, he's moved on in. They know he's coming, but where is he? He's down in the smoke. Doesn't quite get the knock onto Wild, and that is Ulf down. No elims on this match, Blank. The Turkish compatriots not happy with going down so early in that last one.
That's actually very nice for Regnum Kaya. You see how DXAV handles this as well, as they need to get up towards that north side. We didn't talk about it too much, but I actually love the rotate coming through from Mad Bulls, where they got ahead of the players that were inside of Sunken, which actually clears out a huge amount of space for them to play on that central island. It was a smart play from Mad Bulls, and again, massive amount of space been made because of it. Thundertalk, though, they've been all over the place inside of this circle, now looking to guard out on that central island. Maybe Mad Bulls were a little bit slow to leave.
Yeah, couldn't quite disengage from the last player of D+, or maybe didn't want to. They did have a couple of players to pick back up, so slowness may be necessary. R8 pushing up on the western edge. They're going to have to leave this ridgeline, though, Blank. It's not in the next zone. They'll play it as long as possible, but in 10 seconds, they're going to have to start to think about leaving there. Preferably earlier as well. Chip's just about getting out, but he has to shift on Other 2 because the blue zone starts to move.
APG Doc here, looking over towards Fury. Quite low HP, but easy enough to thread those bullets through. Himself a knock there and the flush. It's nice to see. That head is peeking over the top side of the rock there.
Oh, okay.
Tony K should know.
That is a block knocker of a shot coming through from Doc. He will be able to take him down behind that rock. Not going to be easy to get Tony K back up now for Vampire. They need to try and hold their nerve, but with Alpha 7 beneath them, they really don't have any safe quarter. And they have to just get out of there. Getting away and playing on as 2 might be the best case scenario for them, but Lazarus is drawn short. Out in the open as well. DRX to the north should have eyes on.
I mean, DRX has been playing a little bit more of a slow game this time around. After some very good games yesterday, it's been a little bit more quiet today. APG spots over towards R8, who did make that crossing on the western side. They look to instead completely cut out flowing across RCB.
Thundertalk do go down on their attempted roll-up. Mad Bulls, a little bit too much pressure on towards them, and Alter Ego, the main profiteers of it right now. Alter Ego pretty happy about that. R8's really struggling against APG's lineup here. Top with the Mini 14. A lot of ammo in it as well, and R8, they are up against it right now. Alpha 7 in their way. APG holding the northern rotate. There's no options now for R8. It's win the fight or go down trying.
Trying to get him back up again. Slowly going past the vehicle. Almost crashes into them. Murray does not move. I feel like he should have swung slightly to the left-hand side there, knowing the nades were just starting to flow across towards him. Playing Battleship, might have not got it the first time, but they're certainly going to find it sooner or later. Ida takes a chunk too, and I think Murray is just impossible to pick back up now.
I mean, he's just got to try and crawl back, right? That's the name of the game right now. You're probably going to go down, but you might as well try and regroup towards the team. And actually, right now, looking like it might be quite successful, Blank, with DRX rocking up onto the north side of APG. They do have now a fight on two fronts. Amori potential to get rezzed. The circle shunts out to this western side as well, which is going to help things. And APG really suffering now against DRX on the north side. Mars gets knocked, though, and R8, they were thrown a little bit of a lifeline, but it is getting snatched back as Doc rampages south.
A small lifeline, yes, but not quite enough as Doc looks to sever those ties. Reefus moving forward, doing incredibly well yesterday and looking to push that slightly further now. One player gets back up, able to hit the tag, has to make the switch now over, but Prestige doing fairly well. Doc is there, and he is the hero.
DRX
Keeps his
now.
boy up.
DRX now up onto that high ground, though. They'll have heard all these shots popping off. They'll have seen the knocks coming on through. With APG on their last legs, nades start to get launched forwards by DRX. And out into the open they go. Zedwolf did try and scout out this area, try and get one of those points snuck away, but did fall back in with the rest of Regnum Kaya.
I mean, for Regnum Kaya, they do need to regroup soon. For Silas, he is just maintaining control over towards that south side. You do not want to be backfilled on there as you're trying to make that crossover towards the hillside. They could potentially swing all the way towards the west, try and hold out teams coming through like APG and DRX, get involved there. Then you might have a position to play. You can already see Zedwolf swinging out towards that west side now.
Yeah, he was trying to get in there earlier, decides now's the time to go back. APG rocks up straight on towards him, and he immediately regroups away. A beautiful little spray down, a lineup from DRX, and that is going to be them done and dusted. They will go down. Toast. DX Xavier soon to follow. So, our top 9 teams now stand. Alpha 7 still being in is bad news bears, Blank, for a lot of this lobby, because Alpha 7 have that compound on the northern side. They have a lot of this game still left to play.
Yeah, a team that I was talking about yesterday as well, massively so, was Alpha 7. I really do like this roster. I really do rate it at the moment. I think Obscure as well as Guizhou are looking fantastic. Revo and Carrillo get to take the foot off the gas sometimes as well, which is a really big deal for that squad because they were doing so much in the past, but now they can pop off when they want to, not when they need to all the time.
Oh, Alter Ego, they're all together at the moment, and it's working out against the Mad Bulls. Tuluka tries to get back into a position to go for these reses, but they are crawling desperately towards this one. Lemon will go down. Kara up on that high ground may have angles as well towards Mad Bulls, and now they're playing as two, trying to march towards the Alter Ego position, but there's CEO. No, he's chiming in, too busy over towards Team Flash, but instead it's the play zone, it's the nade zone coming on through, but Pusher gets one in response. It's Rosemary to go down, and why wouldn't it be? Another one sent on in. Maybe trying to keep himself alive for a little bit longer here, but the blue zone will push ever faster, ever further.
I mean, Alter Ego took quite a few knocks in the midst of all of that. Pusher now has to swing through the blue. This is a lot of vehicles. They really do have a lot of vehicles here.
Can they get them out, though?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the garage, but it feels like Alter Ego is playing more of a car sim at the moment.
Oh, okay. Finally goes away for Regnakaya. Goes away from E-Arena as well on box compound. They've held this for so long, basically since second shift. Probably from first shift, actually. As the nades continue to pour on in overhead from Kara towards Team Flash. They're finding more and more. Tops is now in danger on the backlines. Tries to fade one away. Doesn't quite connect on it. But Alter Ego, they're on the rollout now. They do need to make a move. And this seems to be a fairly wise choice. They're going to be able to flush one out at least. But they lose Krypton on this approach. Blank, they are now down to 3. But I don't think it's their old tricks playing catch up to them.
No, I don't think so either. I think they had to make this rotate eventually. And they made the rotate together too. Kara has Overwatch on this. But 9 elims on the game, great for them, 57 points. Like you say though, the sad thing for a lot of the teams in the lobby is that Alpha 7 is about to bridge a massive gap between them and a lot of other teams here, unless they go down soon.
Absolutely. Need to try and take them out as quickly as possible. With only 1 elim going down in 7th, that's not going to put a huge number of points on your tally. But going down in 7th seems fairly unlikely for Alpha 7 right now. Kara much more likely to be next up off the bat, and they will indeed fall. 4 elims, 7th place. Again, not great. Alter Ego now trying to go for that same descent from the hilltop that they just saw go fairly poorly. Let's see if they have a better chance at it.
I mean, this has to be an incredibly fast rotate, get down the hill here, but it is so open, as it always is with this kind of circle. DRX has nasty shots from along the way, and it's Hyunbin, as always, finding those cruel pincers over towards Alter Ego. Moana absolutely should be going down here. Alter Ego is essentially a 2-man squad right now.
But they've got 10 elims already, Blank, again. On this match.
You know what? I would love for DRX to crash Alpha 7 right now. I'm not even joking, because they're sort of looking towards Alter Ego. And what other option does DRX have?
That is true, and when Regnum Kai starts to get involved as well, that's going to be made harder. I think they're gearing up for it. They're going to go up. Kaikse now, first onto the wall. They're not going all the way in. Hyunbin draws short. A nade sent over towards. Not quite going the full distance there. The Molotov to try and find Grisao, but Hyunbin goes down from a nade to revolt.
It's a great bounce.
And an immediate flush comes through as well. A good bounce on the nade there. And now DRX are playing on as 3. Alpha 7 not going to take any knocks. A bounce from the roof. From Kaikse doesn't find it either. Carrillo burns out the door frame. They are slowing down this one too.
You're
Kaikse
crazy.
steps into the fire to try and get the nade on through. He's going to burn out, Blank, but could have got huge value there. It's not to be, and now DRX playing as 2.
Oh, that's so sad. He bounced it back through the window, by the way. But yeah, DRX down to 2 players, having to do everything right now. But this has taken a lot of attention off the rest of the circles. Regnum Kaya starts to flow through E-Arena, slicing away at them, up to 7 elims now. Guizhou looks to step out, but QXZ being the final member, and a hell of a bounce.
The roll up from Regnum Kai to look for the last players of E-Arena now. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down, more man down. E-Arena out of it. Loxy may be needing to get picked up here, but they can flex out. They've got a little bit of time to play with. Alter Ego sent Alva straight on in, and Alpha 7 not on the Overwatch. Getting rid of the last player from Vampire. Has he got cover enough to do this?
Alva has moved through. Again, very well played to him. He's fairly safe here as well, honestly. Alpha 7 are not in nade range. And he's sort of got this little compound to himself made up by the rock and the vehicle.
How many percent did Alpha 7 win this one, though, Blank? Last time, it was a much clearer call. Against Regnum Kaya, though, on that south edge, it looks a little bit tougher, but the fact that their compound is just in this zone.
Yeah. It basically, if stage 8 is on top of Alpha 7, then yeah, they should just win. Regnum Kaya have really no way to assault that position, right? I mean, sure, they have vehicles, but the approach they have to make gives so much time for the guys over on Alpha 7 just to pepper them with bullets. But it is the 2 storylines converging right now, between Regnum Kaya waiting for that big win to set them up towards the top of the tables, and Alpha 7 looking to create a massive buffer between them and everyone else, John.
I mean, Alpha 7 with 4 elims, a 3rd place guaranteed. Alter Ego, though, as well, with huge elim counts coming on through.
Nothing else.
Oh yeah, no nades, just 20 smokes.
20 nades for Regnum Kaya and no smokes.
Oh, brilliant. Maybe a little bit of swapsies right now. Silas feeling the lack of smoke as he tries to get away with it, but steps into the blue zone. The damage a little bit too much to handle. He is not going to get back up there, Blank. Zedwolf has marched forwards and is a lot closer and in the next zone. It's a big split. It's an alter ego split, actually, coming through from Regnum Kaya this time, as they take down into third place Alter Ego, who do still get huge elim numbers, 12 on the match.
Right. Stage 8 it is. For Silas, takes a tag. He's trying to get the buggy back out into control there, which is fair enough. Sadly, because he takes a little bit of damage there, it does mean game over for him. And this is where it all gets set up in 3 seconds. Whether it's a surefire Alpha 7 win or a potential for Regnum Kaya. And it looks like a potential. But how the hell does Loxy and Wild get forward? They don't have smokes.
I mean, Wild's in this circle, right? So he doesn't necessarily need to get forward. The fact that Alpha 7 are moving now, I really like this, right?
They have smokes.
They have smokes. Exactly. Exactly. It's those nades, though. Like you said, how do you get forwards? It looks like Loxy's managed it, though. He's closer to the circle. Needs to step a tree to the right, though.
I think not having any nades is kind of a big deal here for Alpha 7. And they could try and just demand presence in the zone using vehicles, maybe. That could work. But yeah, as soon as Alpha 7 starts getting the nade range, Regnum Kaya has the advantage. What they have to do here is they have to take advantage of the fact that they have players to refrag off the back of. It's one of those games where you play 4v3, then you're playing 3v2, then you're playing 2v1, and that's how you got to win it out. But letting Zedwolf up to here is crazy. Alpha 7 look to be sweating.
It's brains versus brawn. With the nades in the pocket for Regnum Kaya. I mean, they're staring Wild down, but he is behind a tree in the circle. It's Loxy who's the only one who has to actually move here. And Alpha 7 will have to put themselves forwards. The stage 9 circle will close dead center, and at the moment, they don't have the cut on it. They are now expending more smokes to give themselves that smoke train run out. Obscure, waiting for Wild to peek, but he doesn't need to. Zedwolf drawing attention from Guizhao. And Alpha 7 still playing it slow, still playing it cautiously. This is what we saw from them last time to close it down. But will it be enough without those nades? Because they only have 6 smokes left now. They are inching forwards.
It's really smart, though, the way they're playing this, because they're trying to angle themselves with these smokes further and further out of nade range. It's really well played.
Ooh, Wild can't get too far out from his tree. He knows he's under lock and key.
Oh, that's a great nade.
Revo is there, hops through, but it's not enough. Fancy on the feet, but it is going to still be on target, and a big pickup. Alpha 7's rollout just made all the harder. Info can be gathered, sure, but Zedwolf has the sideswipe, and blank, the smokes have run dry for Alpha 7. That was the last one to be taken out.
Oh,
Wild
no.
is the answer, and Guizhao comes in clutch. Zedwolf, can he find it? Carrillo rolls out to Revo.
This was talking about the 3v2. Zedwolf finds one, but that's about it, and the blue is at his back. Alpha 7 pick themselves up. The back to back here in match 3.
What a nerve-wracking finish for them. It was a lot more certain. The north side of that
Alpha 7 in Evo.
field shift on the circle is how Alpha 7 like to play, it turns out.
To be honest with you, I think Zedwolf was
এপিজির অবস্থা এবার আর ভালো না, এই বছর আর পারতো না। এপিজির অবস্থা এবার আর ভালো না, এই বছর আর পারতো না। এপিজির অবস্থা এবার আর ভালো না, এই বছর আর পারতো না। এপিজির অবস্থা এবার আর ভালো না, এই বছর আর পারতো না। এপিজির অবস্থা এবার আর ভালো না, এই বছর আর পারতো না। নব্বই পয়েন্ট, 70 পয়েন্ট, 20 পয়েন্ট আগে। ইপিজি 63 পয়েন্ট।
top of the tables to be somewhere just over 100 points, maybe up towards that 110-point boundary on the 12 matches they will have played by the end of the day. And there's actually a lot of teams very far behind that, I think it's safe to say. So I think that Alpha 7 at the moment, in with a very unique opportunity to set a Smash boundary that may only be achievable by them in a reasonable amount of time.
I think so. I think for Alpha 7, right now 90 points, it is a incredible feat for today. Though all good things must come to an end at some point. And for Alpha 7, whether they can keep this up over the next 3 games, I find that hard to believe. I do find that hard to believe, and I think that there will be teams catching up to them soon.
I think so too. I mean, realistically, it's probably Gunts to happen. It's just going to be one of those teams chasing. Because, I mean, 68 points, down to 61 in 7th place. There's at least the entire front page and more beyond that are trying to chase it. And if they want to look good chasing, well, I should be using the Polar Party Minute 14. That's right. You guys at home can be grabbing that skin on board. Make sure you're logging in today or tomorrow, because that is when the deadline is to pick that one up for free. A permanent skin for your Mini 14. Or if you prefer a little to get a little dancey with it, get a little jiggy, you can get those free emotes all the way up until the 25th of December. So make sure you're logging in over on PUBG Mobile. If you're here at the event, you can grab one of those little blind boxes and tap the backpack. Open that app and immediately get yourselves those skins on board. Nice little goodies to be snaffled away. Make sure you're getting them.
For Alpha 7, it's a pretty good adjustment, honestly, on this circle, just because usually it's North George for them. On this circle, we get a northeast shift on this one, and Alpha 7 is already on top of Stalbert, split across Kameshki. So things do work out rather nicely for this squad. Flash in Yasnaya, very central for themselves, who are currently in with 35 points, 14th place. It's not the best. It could definitely be better, but their Vietnamese brethren and DXavier are in 2nd place, so they could be happy for them at least.
For now. And also, as we've talked about so much now, it is a rookie season for them, right? It's a rookie year coming out of the gates, really swinging, getting through from last chance blank. It is, to be honest, a team that I think a lot of people are expecting to be low down on the tables here. We talked about how it would be a massive success to see them in the top 8. I think that still holds true, and I think it's possible, right? They're currently 21 points behind. They do need to tidy a couple things up right now, though. Their fight's looking a little bit discordant. They aren't quite as cooperative as perhaps they need to be in those engagements. We've seen time and time again, they lose one, they don't quite have the confidence or the firepower to get those refrags in a lot of those 4v4 engagements.
This is time for DXavier to step back into the ring. By that I mean the center of the circle. Because although, yeah, 68 points, they have allowed a lot of teams to catch up to them, and one team at least to pass straight alongside them with Alpha 7. Regnum Kaya did get a lot of points off that game, though, up to 66 points now. And I was talking about how one big game for Regnum Kaya could get them into the top 3, and it absolutely does. Only 1 point ahead of both 4th and 5th place, though.
Only
but
2
still,
points behind 2nd.
At 3rd place is a 3rd place.
Absolutely. You're on the podium. You will be seen, but you know what? Finishing in another 2nd place for Regnum Kaya in back-to-back PMGCs, I feel like that would be pretty galling. I think they would maybe prefer to come 3rd.
This kills the Silas.
I mean, that's an absolute fib, because you definitely want the money for 2nd place, right? There is big drop-offs when it comes to the cash, so making sure that you're getting that on board would be necessary. They would take the 2nd. If it was denied, if they can't get the 1st. If they can't get the 1st. Oh, there we go. Hang on a minute.
I was telling you about this.
You were telling me about this, but I'm here. I'm a little bit louder. Hopefully, I'm going to whisper for a little bit. I'm going to get slightly louder over time. Okay, the mic has been readjusted. We're fine. We're back in. But yeah, absolutely. Getting a little bit of ASMR now. But we're going to hopefully see Regnum Kaya jump up on those tables. A lot of fans out there are pulling for them. They've done their first rotation, though, Blank, right? And this is something that you were bringing up during that last game, right? Their follow-up has not been ideal. They are what I call a chocolate frog team in this tournament, it seems. They have one good leap in them. Beyond that, a little bit of a squib.
For Regnum, yeah, I think there's been a lot of times where second rotations have been fairly decent, but yeah, PMGC so far, it has been frustrating where their initial rotate looks so nice, but the rotate after that, typically they're rotating directly in towards teams. I think they were given a lot more freedom in their region, they were given a lot more freedom in their group stage, and it remains to be said that when they're playing up against these strong teams, they struggle a little bit, where they need a little bit more time to adapt to that. Because obviously they didn't make it through Gauntlet, right? And I think that for them that was the case of the lobby was littered with fantastic teams. So it was much harder. So they went back to group stage where they were given a lot more freedom and potentially picked up some bad habits from there before coming back through to PMGC. But I do think that today is the day of adaptation. You get towards match 3, you're coming into match 4 now, we're past the halfway mark. This is where I want to see that adaptation start to take place though. Absolutely.
I'm looking at APG and they're on our screens, and on the southwest side, they chose to go for West Bridge instead of going for East Bridge to leave Sosnovka this time around blank. They're very close to Vampire, who will be out late in the circle. Now they will be ahead on the queue. Circle, not super dramatic, but it does mean that we are, well, not 100% certain, but almost entirely probable that we will be on that south side of the river. No shenanigans this time around. Mad Bull's actually crashing into a very important compound on the west side here with a decent amount of overlook to the Yaz Fields, which make up a lot of this next circle.
Shots over towards Flip, and he's really having to flip the script here a little bit. Spinning around in circles, trying to get out of the way from those bullets whizzing past him. Even with a quick steps on the side of the wall. I mean, he's frightened. He's afraid. Worried that just like the crops around him, he's about to get farmed. We'll pull away back in towards the compound alongside the rest of Mad Bulls.
Teams are going to start to solidify on their position. Regnum Kaya bound back towards the center of this one as well. They are lining that southern border of the Yaz Fields. In the meantime, Vampire did manage to get in on that south edge. They pulled up in the compound there, as you can see on your screens. And they will be able to take residence. Fairly uncontested right now, but APG are pushing in. They may be able to find DX Xavier on that push with APG. So we'll see. And some conflict over on the northern side. In the meantime, it is GOAT team to be able to find shots from Killer Joe out towards the open ground where he scouts an arena player. And we'll be able to scrabble that point into the pocket. 3 players now remaining for Arena, and they're under pressure from Alpha 7 on the northeast.
Yeah, we're pulling down towards the south side now, around Yasnaya Fields actually. And Alpha 7, like you say, had to pull back off from Stalber Kameshki towards that south side, rotating on the eastern edge of the circle. Lipovka was controlled mainly by Alter Ego, so they were able to wrap out over towards Mansion. And we'll have to think about their next moves from there. There is still Dip in play, but not a lot of teams have really put a lot of focus over towards there just yet. A bit more split around the circle, which I think is absolutely doable on this particular area of the map.
Little replay here on first blood drawn. Norman, ooh, okay. Cheeky. A bit of team fire going on there as well. Able to finally get that shot down just as he's cresting the ridge, so last moment to find that. Lemon is breaching out of the compound for Mad Bulls. He's flexing over towards DRX on these hillsides that do have one of the very few positions that have power over the compound that they hold.
Technically, Killer Joe was first blood both games. Of the last 2.
Died first last time.
Yeah.
Oh. He was involved.
He was involved.
He was there.
He was first blood, and he drew first blood.
Oh, well, he gets the shift as well this time around on this next circle, going out to the east side of Yaz Field, so Mad Bulls and DRX could disengage on their standoff. Regnum Kaya sending very quickly, they just seem to do all the time, to the roadside though. A little bit tougher to hold there, and they might try and crash up towards GOAT team, towards that heaven and hell position, which is a major feature on the east side of this circle.
with the field as well on the western side, you kind of do cut a lot of teams in towards that eastern edge. We have a lot of teams not really wanting to wander through the barbed wire that is Yaz Field. Vic here coming up against some opposition. It's E-Arena, Joker looking to pull the king here, but won't quite grab it. Instead is Royal flushed away.
Sakura, the next to go down. Regnum Kaya, they stopped short of going for this crash. Goat team were trying to regroup towards Heaven, and E-Arena just sent it on in. It hasn't gone phenomenally for them, but Turney K has got the pump action. He's found that knock onto Twix. A nade goes up on high, and Regnum Kaya still trying to put pressure on. If you could take down a player from Goat team, it might be that Regnum Kaya then sidle on in, try to get involved. Kraken trying to marshal that south side, trying to marshal the ground floor, keep his team safe. Turney K has to hit the deck. He's the last player alive now for E-Arena, trying to put on a show for the home crowd.
Guess who Alter Ego just lost?
Was it Krypton?
No, guess again.
Oh, was it Alva?
And guess again.
Oh no, well, let's see if E-Arena can have a little bit better luck. No, they won't. It was Rosemary, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Rosemary. Okay, well, less said about that, the better maybe. As E-Arena go down, no elims, the crash. Distinctly unsuccessful.
Wait a second. Max, man, did you hear that? Rosemary's dead.
he's died to damage. He took too much of it, and he's no longer playing in the game. Maxman's having a terrible time over there hearing that news. Goodness me. Him and most of Indonesia.
Yeah. It's a tough break. It really is. You can tell how badly a game's going to go with how long Rosemary's alive for.
Yeah, so now he's gone. It's going to go amazingly, right?
So true, so true. Touche.
Can't make a mistake if you're not playing the game.
Yeah. DRX are sat on the western edge of Yasnaya. I think it's not a bad position to play. You are hoping the circle goes over towards the western side. And really, it really is a bit of a split at the moment. You got 50% of the circle wishing we played west side, 50% wishing we played east. But it can only go one way. Eventually? I mean, if it goes dead central every single time, no one's happy, of course.
Except for maybe Regnum Kaya and Goat team. I feel like they might be happy about it.
Even then, these aren't ideals. Maybe for Go. Maybe for Go.
Well, it's not going to happen either way, because it goes up towards the north. This is great for Alpha 7. This is huge for Alpha 7 blank. Over on that northern side, with their 22-point lead, well, they're up to 23 now with the elim they've found. They have been helped out here, but they do still need to hold it. I think they're going to do it, though. I think they're going to... A 3P every Eren goal for Alpha 7?
I think it will be the first time we ever see a turkey. I think we've seen unofficial turkeys before where a team has won the last match yesterday. A technical turkey. Well, we've never seen the real turkey before.
APG with their turn to crash, take it to the skies. Reefus flying, soaring high, but Zeol is brought back down to earth. And no, it's just a ground floor assault. Goat team, they don't even want to take part right now. They're peacing out. They're out of there. Happy to say, yeah, cool. You guys looked so good. Jumping up on your vehicles and your buggies and your cars. You deserve it. You can have it. We'll see you later on the fight when we try and leave.
Well, they tried to leave and immediately got shot at there. There's Kara over on the western side. APG finding those shots through.
Oh, D+.
D+ are going to try and thread the needle. For the moment, they are back in 16th.
They certainly are. That is where they are, honestly. 32 points right now for D+. It is not great. So they do manage to get through, though, but into a decent position. Kara continuing to take casualties as they try and move up further towards the north. On the south side, it is getting dangerous. DX Xavier and Vampire both trying to march in. They are not in this next zone. It's crunching in on towards them. APG successfully taking Heaven. I mean, it's potentially going to be quite profitable for them if they can spot the shots down towards the south side, which Reefus seems like he can. He's got this one.
Top taking shots. I mean, they're really trying to clear out a lot of the area around them. Thunder Talk, as per usual, making that wide wrap over on the eastern side. Tough players to mess around with there too. They could crash over towards Alter Ego on that north side. it would not be out of the wheelhouse of Thunder Talk either to go for an aggressive play like that. Whether it's successful remains to be seen.
Hey, let's see what happens, because it could be literally anything at this stage for Thunder Talk. They're trying to keep his confused Vampire actually with a roll up towards APG. They find the flex out, the bold push out coming through onto the open ground, but the rest of the Vampire squad getting taken care of here. Just Gooey left, and on this angle, Reefus, he's no match for it, it seems. Lazarus, no, he's still alive as well, so they're playing 1-2, and they get the heal off. I thought they'd lost another. That's Thunder Talk chiming in over towards Doc and APG. A catastrophe. They try and flex Zol out into the open, push him down south, and it all comes crumbling down on the hold. Top now, the last to stand for them.
Do you think that was a mistake from Reefus, like an accident, I mean, or he jumped down the hill? I think he could have backed off there. I don't think he had to fully commit to it.
1-for-1 though, because Lazarus is forced to drop down as well. Slipping, sliding away. Maybe teams not super expected that that's going to happen, and immediately trying to go in for the repeat here, but it's too late. That's going to get stolen away though by Goat Team, who are still playing on Hell. APG, yeah, they fully lose Yolt now to the play zone. The rest coming through, but the nade from Lazarus is still there. Bounces incorrectly though, not finding its way through. Hard south shift in the meantime.
Yeah, it does move away from Alpha 7, no longer towards the center. But it's instead Ulf that has that little mound to work with for themselves. The spot in heaven is still a pretty valuable area for a lot of squads in terms of scouting, in terms of playability towards the end game. I am surprised Thunder Talk didn't go for the full wrap on it, but it looks like they're just trying to control his eastern side for as long as possible. AJ's keeping tabs though. AJ is keeping tabs.
He's a man of many notes, is AJ. He's getting the...
he's doing the minutes.
Getting the info. Folding it back in. Updating the agendas for the next meeting. We'll see if that is going to be efficacious or not. DxAvia trying to make their way in all the way on the north side. They have a really tough approach. They were right next door to Vampire, and they tried to swing all the way very, very wide, and now they're going up against the last players of R8, oh sorry, one of the players of R8, but the rest of the players are sliding on in. It's just Lambo now. But he's not going to go for it. I mean, it's not in the next zone, so they do need to go further south. They're going to let him get away with it.
It's a good timing there from R8, honestly. The fact that they're able to just swing straight in there in the midst of all that fighting, lovely stuff, and they're going to get stuck into it.
Flashbacks to this compound where Team Flash were playing before. They weren't quite able to close down the match. But let's see if they can get a little bit more value from it this time. Win has that high ground that brought them to their knees before. Nice nade out the window for Tops, but unfortunately Ida's already repositioned. And even more fortunately for them though, there is an off angle, and they will be able to find it. Regnum Kaya getting torn apart as well in the meantime. A lot of damage done their way. Everybody trying to move, having a terrible time of it. And DxAvia actually catching the final players of R8, but now they're under pressure. It's Team Flash finding those shots. And everybody around that bubble position, that top spot blank, they're taking heavy, heavy casualties.
Yeah, we're not actually playing up there on the northwest side, guys. Mad Bulls and the Flash. I think they're wanting to go back to that game again, but it is not happening. Luckily, the Flash seems to have made some big adjustments.
Uh-oh.
Because this is a very different ending to what we saw last time.
That's the worst time to do that. That's bad. That's a bad time. He nades his own teammate out. And the Flash is
and DxAvia's there on the wall as well.
Oh, this is the... Oh, my goodness me. That is actually crazy that it's the same setup, but just shunted over a couple matches. DxAvia, though, will no longer be on the wall. Bose actually steps out for it. I mean, they know the tricks now. APG going to walk into a brick wall and will be taken out. Regnum Kaya being able to weather the majority of that storm that was brought towards them is pretty impressive in that spot.
Yeah, a lot of the knocks came through from Caro, who actually swung down towards that southeast side. They got taken out themselves, so it has given time for Regnum Kai to at least pick up their feet and get back into the picture. Alter Ego get themselves a nice central spot. And so that joke you made earlier actually is coming into fruition right now, funnily enough.
There you go. They're going to have a great game. D+, detonated by their countrymen. The derby match of demolition between DRX and D+ Kia. Any other words that start with D? Because I'll throw them right in there. Seems like, though, D+ drawn short. They're not even going to get an elim here, Blank. 16th place for you, back in the corner.
Back in corner. Go to shops and purchase some points.
You got any chicken? Get that.
Well,
Cook it for dinner.
I'm hoping for the turkey.
Oh, that is
I'm
true.
still hoping for the turkey. I mean, obviously we do back Regnum Kaya,
But that's not the turkey we're talking about.
but I want to see Alpha 7 win, to be quite honest with you.
I mean, it would be crazy to see a triple Erangel back-to-back. Regnum Kaya kind of getting lined up on right now, but not really taking too much damage. Killer Joe getting away with this. Not losing a tire, not losing the vehicle, not losing his health bar on a two-player lineup. It's pretty crazy.
Very, very, very crazy.
Shouldn't really happen.
Regnum Kaya back out into open ground, which is giving them probably not the greatest of memories coming through from our previous game there versus Alpha 7, who are playing it fairly slow. That seems to be all they do today here on Erangel. Nice, slow game.
Moving out, getting that roadside under control, getting a little bit more presence felt. Thundertalk are still alive. 8 teams now remain. And on the eastern side, they have been quiet, so it's about time for them to do something absolutely mad. I think crash onto Ulf. Let's go.
Yeah, just do it. Just send it. Make it happen. Get themselves into nade range, though. That is a lot of firepower being blasted their way. That's from Flash. Obscure will hit the deck, but Revo is immediately there. And they're having to battle it out for this
They're
position.
crashing onto Ulf. Thundertalk are going, and they are going straight onto Ulf. They lose one out in the open, but the roll down is strong. And Thundertalk overwhelm the hold there. I called it.
You actually did.
I actually called it there.
But
And now the nades from Alpha 7 come in.
At least we kind of know the personalities now from Thundertalk.
I thought, what's the most unreasonable thing for them to do?
Yeah. This is Sighting's personality actually manifesting within the team this time around.
We're in 24th minute. That means the new IGL's kicked in. Goat team are going to rock up on the fight as well. Alpha 7 may be looking at third party, but they're looking for their own res in the meantime. Thundertalk overwhelmed in that fight. And now Regnum Kaya left alone on the south.
Alpha 7 do go down to just 3. Not impossible. Not impossible.
Regnum Kaya.
To happen here.
West side. Tenwolf, Silas, straight on from Loxy, but he's not going to be able to do more than that. Regnum Kaya handled there. They're up to 70 points on their 10 matches that they've played, but they will go down and will not get any more. 11 eliminations for both Team Flash and Goat Team right now, Black.
Yeah, it's a big game. It's a big stand-up performance for Regnum Kaya, though. What an unfortunate match for them. I mean, you get so far into this and really not a lot of points at all off the back of it just because you cannot contend with a South Korean team.
It's just not possible.
Just any South Korean team, it's Silas's kryptonite.
What do you mean? What do you mean? You're South Korea? We've got to fight you now, apparently. That's the chant. They scream Hell for Leather as they go into battle
The chant.
against them.
Go on, chant that.
I'm not going to do that.
Because
We're busy. Goat team.
we're not going to fight you right now. No, we're not going to fight you right now. It's a great chant.
Oh, yeah.
Great chant.
DRX, though, they're going to fight Team Flash right now. Bose gives it a good go. And 2 players from DRX go down. 9 eliminations there. On for DRX. Alpha 7. Trying to keep them at bay, though, and they are surviving. 13 eliminations,
Come on,
however.
boys.
Comes
Come on,
through
boys.
from Goat Team. The possibility
Come
of
on.
the 3-peat getting a little bit closer. But Revo is caught. Will get flashed. No answer from Alpha 7, but they got the middle of this next zone. DRX trying to stretch their legs forwards. They've got 9 players. Need to finding their way towards Alpha 7 as well.
DRX not really doing all that much right now. They're kind of keeping it safe, but a 14 elim game is absolutely tremendous. And Alpha 7 is pinched. They are so pinched. There's a good initial shot from Carrillo. I don't think Alpha 7's living to do much longer here.
Carrillo evaded that, but another nade finds its way over towards Goat Team. And Carrillo gets the heal off. DRX are putting more pressure over towards Goat Team. Vic could land a nade. Cracker could do something. And Alpha 7 can make this work. They need to be worried about the backline. QXZ is on an off angle for DRX. Still a threat. One more player goes down for Goat Team. Guisao's looking to pick up the points as well. He flexes out wide around the back here for Goat Team. And Vic is under so much pressure.
Oh my god.
DRX able to do The dirty towards GOAT team. They will take them down, but now in a 2 versus 4, Alpha 7, they're really up against it with DRX stepping forwards. I don't think they're going to be able to get the 3-peat. Greaseout needs something special. He steps up for 1. So easy now with a challenge, but he goes for the flush instead. That's a little bit too bold. That's a little bit too big for your boots. Alpha 7, 1, 1, 2. They drop the ball at the final moment, but they get a lot of points. They open the gap further. DRX, however, they are second place, and they're on the hunt.
Alpha 7 unable to topple the Thailand territory here and grab that turkey in those end games. I mean, it looked very, very close. It looked very, very cool, but it wasn't quite happening.
না ডিআরএক্স ভালো পজিশনে আছিল ভালো পজিশন পাইছে নাহলে আলফা 7 পাইতে এপিজি আজকে একটা প্লেসমেন্ট পয়েন্ট পায় নাই আল্লাহর এটাই কথা বলতাছে পিজি এখন তো স্ট্রিমে সাউন্ড দেওয়া যাবে না স্ট্রিমে সাউন্ড দিলে কপিরাইট স্ট্রাইক আবার দিয়ে বসে থাকবো ম্যাচ স্টার্ট হইলে সাউন্ডটা দিব আজকে রাত্রে আবার পাবজি ক্লাসিক ম্যাচের করে লাইভ করার ট্রাই করব এখন সাউন্ডটা দেওয়া যায়
We go, so up towards El Azahar, towards water treatment, Cruz de Valle, up on that northern edge. Let's see if APG will indeed wake up. The desires of Seven, will they be answered? Because in the party bus, it is not looking very festive. Oh, that's a bad start. Oh, they're taking a lot of damage. They are wending their way across the road, slowly, slowly. They take the damage and they keep going. A couple more shots for Mormon. The iron sights are there, and APG on their last legs, but they're just over the horizon now. Mormon with 12 rounds left to go. Looking to connect a shot, but it will not be there. How on earth have they done that? A bulletproof umbrella out the window. Just about avoiding the damage that would have taken them down. Trading off beautifully, by the way. If either player had taken one more shot, they would have been down.
Yeah, what a crazy escape that was from APG. You are right, they were definitely on their last legs and they'd gone through at least 6 pairs by the time they got to that point. Wow, wow, wow. Not really sure I can congratulate them on that either.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
A bit of an unlucky streak there coming through from EA. Not quite able to get those final shots in.
Wow, you hit some, you miss some. They missed quite a lot though, didn't they?
Yeah.
I think the bus took a heavy hit for them as well. I think
it was probably the perfect vehicle to have. Many seats to switch between. You're basically playing roulette in the back of the vehicle.
That is true. I wanted that seat. No, move, move, move. Oh, well. They came up with the goods in the end. If you guys want the goods too, make sure you are redeeming the code on screen, PUBG X PUBGM. Zol trying to keep as quiet as possible. He's redeemed those codes, and everyone wants is out to get him for it.
Redeem the only code. Potentially the top 3 code in 4th place right now. Tied up between 3 teams. The amount of times that we've had 3 squads on 3rd, 4th, and 5th tied. It's happened too much. Throughout the entirety of PMGC, in fact.
It's interesting. I mean, it's an interesting feature, and I shall have to do some analysis on it. as to why it is happening. So exactly what is causing this, because it is an anomaly. Oh dear, Arena continue to have a tough time of things after not being able to get the knock or a flush or a point. Over towards APG, they now have taken a knock their way, and another one, Reefus finds it. But APG, okay, no, I thought Seoul was going to have to win that challenge as well, but he's staying alive. Has he been spotted? Are they turning around? Maybe coming back to this one? This isn't in the zone, so this is all chicanery on the southwest side.
APG's had a bit of a weird start, haven't they, really? Trying to find some semblance of defense here, but nice shot from distance as well with a heavy over towards EA.
It's not been a good start to the match. Arena and Vampire, the two home ground Thailand teams, are getting punished right now. 13th and 14th on the tables. It is not going to be a fun experience for them. And they are very limited in their possibility of getting up towards that top side now. At this stage, it is going to start to be more and more of the tables counted out in terms of getting up towards that first place position. And I think it feels like Kara and Vampire have joined that number alongside DK. Arena, they are very much on their last legs. If they don't do much by the end of the day, I'm counting them out too.
Yeah.
And beyond that, the same will start to happen.
I mean, it's very, very, very cool that D plus Kia managed to make it here, but it's very, very, very uncool to end up in first place last year and then finish in 16th the year after. That doesn't feel great. But I want to make it clear, it's very, very, very cool that they're at least here.
Oh yeah, we love the fact that the potential back-to-back championship team are here, because it's still technically possible. They could still do it. Can you imagine? Goodness me. They could do it in 2 games, mathematically.
Yeah.
Because you can get 10 placement points and up to 60 Elim points in a match.
Oh yeah, easily.
Oh, and with a Rondo, actually, you can get more.
Yeah, easily they
So
can do
yeah,
it.
they can basically get it in 1 game.
Yeah.
And then pass that smash boundary, and then win a chicken dinner in the next one.
Quick win a chicken dinner, done.
Yeah, I mean, it's that easy.
Bish bash bosh.
Just get a 70 elimination Rondo.
Just Elim everyone. Do it.
Seen that guy?
Elim now.
Elim him. Right now.
Elim him.
Elim him. Oh, torn Elim from Elim. Seems like the rest of the lobby is sentencing DK to that fate. Vampire not having a good time of it either. A bit of a stake through the heart. It seems like they shall not arise today. But everyone's turning around and just getting away on super low HP on these vehicle runs, Blank. It's the Bandage Brigade for Gooey. And he will stay alive for the time being. CEO pops a shot, pops 2, pops a couple more, but again, they just get away from it.
Yeah, well, this lobby is basically the entire lobby is the Bandage Brigade right now. We are wrapping ourselves from head to toe, and it's not looking great. It's not looking great. It's been a tough approach for a lot of our squads towards this circle. I believe Thunder Talk right now quite like their position. I also quite like whoever the IGL is right now.
Can we keep it that way?
Can we keep it that way, please? I think that they are the worst offenders. I complain about Rosemary, but I think they are the worst offenders. But to be fair, also, at least they do it together.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the saving grace.
That is true. When there's a call, they do follow through. They follow through on it.
I have seen actually some chats online about Rosemary at the moment, and you know, it's good to see different perspective, because I think some people say that perhaps the rest of the team can't keep up with him. I'm not really sure what I lie on right now, but I think that patience overall would help the team tomorrow. Just a touch. Just a sprinkle.
They're on 69 points right now for Alter Ego in 6th place. Nice. But not nice enough, unfortunately.
No.
It needs to be nicer.
But for Indonesia, it's a ridiculously good result.
Yeah, it's a brilliant turn up. It's something we've been waiting for a while now, so being in and amongst the top pack is good news, because they are very, very close to the podium, right? They're 2 points away from APG in 3rd place. DRX, they're definitely not out of reach. Alpha 7 right now probably are for the time being, but they could slowly, incrementally make their way up there to join them.
You could do it in 2 games. No. You can actually do it in 2 games. You can. Where this is not like joking. You can do it in 2 games.
Over like
70
elims.
You don't need to. You just need to get a couple. Just get a couple here. And give yourself some high placing games. Alter Ego at the moment taking a bit of a fight with D+, who arguably is currently the weakest in the lobby.
They have had a tough turn.
Hey, Vampire can at least say they did better than the champions from last year.
We beat the champions, guys.
We beat the champions. That's
all you need to say in the social media bio.
Yeah.
Champion beaters.
Champion beaters by strong 10 points.
For now, anyway. We'll see if that changes, because D+, they've still got some life in them, I think. I think they might not end on the bottom spot. But it's a strong might.
Regnum Kari currently playing around the fielded area over on the northwest side. Don't always find this the most comfortable positions for teams, but it will keep them out for quite a while. Alpha 7 are coming in on their northern edge, so they will have to keep them out. Luckily for Regnum Kari, Alpha 7 is likely to combat Mad Bulls first. They might be able to pick up the pieces afterwards, but their position isn't amazing for finding those shots.
It's not phenomenal.
I'm curious to wait and see what happens from that spot on the map, though. I think there definitely could be some action in that area.
Ooh, bit of action from Nolbu. Spots Alva and gets that knock, but has to reposition with the blue. Unlikely that this gets fully flushed. Alter Ego should be able to res this, but D+ want to put pressure on. Chips actually lighting up the off angle on Rosemary, causing a little bit of a back off there, which means that the approach over the hillside slightly easier. Rosemary very fast on the heel, and the blue zone starts to develop the fight. Alva actually not getting fully rezzed here, but Rosemary with a long-range tip tap with the Mini 14 doing work.
Back it off.
He needs to back it off now. That's what Blank wants. Is it going to be in time, though? Has to hop out of the vehicle. It is 2 under pressure. Can't move fast enough. The blue zone's upon him. Needs to be careful. Rosemary's down. Takes too many shots. Could not get in the vehicle fast enough. Does get the knock, but he is punished. And I feel like you're pretty vindicated at the moment, Blank.
I don't really need to say anything, do I, honestly?
No. You said all you need to.
Yeah, again, the right play there is you get that initial knock, you've covered your team.
But
then you just get back to the rest of the squad.
Rosemary down. Alter Ego do well.
Potentially.
It's the rules.
Potentially.
It's the rules.
Yeah, I'm curious on this next circle, though, which does head over towards Vampire, in fact. Actually getting them a little bit further up the leaderboard. Thundertalk also meandering in the hills over on the eastern side. The Xavier, I do think that the desk was absolutely correct, honestly, on their assessment of that team. It's also a little bit sad from, yesterday, the desk hearing that they felt like a third-place team after they finished yesterday. But it seems to be the case here. I think the Xavier is a great squad.
Oh, Wiles trying to hold the door frame, does manage to catch it on the pre-fire. Not even needing to go out for the flush. That will come through very thick and fast as Mad Bulls are down to 1. Pusher, the last to stand. Regnum Kaya playing on out the rest of this one. D+ Kia now moving up over towards Thundertalk. They have got 4 players alive. And they've left Alter Ego to their own devices. For the time being, they've allowed them to pick themselves back up to 3. So they can get towards Moana, who is really deep inside the circle, Blank.
Yeah, he has created an anchor point. Kara finding Ida. I think R8 was trying to make a little bit of a sneaky maneuver. I think it's pretty bold of them to go for that. Swinging through that eastern side, that western side, sorry, over towards the east. But they do grab themselves a building, and Kara wasn't quite able to stop that from happening.
R8 managing to get along the roadside.
Maybe it was a sick rotation. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I'm wrong there.
Maybe.
I don't know how they made that happen, though.
I thought you were going to say, I don't know how I'm wrong. I'm never wrong. That's
I'm wrong quite often.
Frequently, you're pretty right, though.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But I definitely can be wrong. And in this case, I think maybe I am. I think it was maybe a good push from R8. But still, it just went unpunished. which I found surprising. I think that's the main thing. APG losing members on a slight split here. I think that is Rezable though.
Could be. It's a little bit out in the zone on the western side, but it should be pick-upable. If not Rezable there, they can try and reposition it. And the blue zone, yeah, you're going to need to get a little bit closer with zone 4 coming on in. That shift goes down south, over towards the graveyard, over towards the position that Team Flash hold fairly convincingly. That's the last player of the Bulls going down. That point goes over towards R8. And the Arena, they're still giving it a good scrap on out the northwestern side near Hacienda. Having a good time of it, but they were busted down earlier to 2 players. So there will be a limited point scoring capacity in this match.
See how RCB handles this, to be honest with you, because they are sandwiched between quite a few teams, in fact. It's more like a cube sandwich, to be honest with you. It's a very weirdly, geometrically assembled sandwich, because there is a fair few teams around them, all locking them in place.
It's more like a Scotch egg.
It's like a bread prison.
A calzone.
I guess that's what a Scotch egg is, but for the egg.
Yeah, exactly. It's a calzone, right?
Yeah,
Same thing.
it's an egg prison. Egg bread prison.
A burrito.
Ooh.
All things
That it could be.
surrounded by bread. That is what we're looking at to get on with this one. Kara trying to make toast out of the Arena right now, playing on us 2. They don't want to lose too many more, though. They've lost 1 already. And any more, probably going to spell disaster for them. Nade over the top from Tony K does not connect. Of course, R8 would love to chime in and third party this. Nades continue to find their way on through. The Villa may look like paradise to some, but right now, it is a nightmare lock-in for these squads. Because Kara can't leave until E-Arena are dealt with in some way, in one way or another. This fight must conclude, and CEO takes to the shingles. Tries to step fancy.
You could say that Kara right now is a little bit like an egg.
Okay. Well, CEO looks to boil them. Will not be able to do so. Hops out the pan instead, and now Joker and Tony K are giving them a massive run for them. Oh, wait, hang on a minute, they're down. All 3 of them fall. A little chime-in comes through the off angle from R8. That's terrible news for Kara.
Yeah, it's a good flex out from R8. All jokes aside about eggs, that was a fantastic flex
excellent.
out from R8. Just frying EA. Almost like an egg.
And they're able to poach a point away from them as well.
They absolutely
Right, so they're able
are.
to add that one to their tally instead. For R8, I mean, this was a surprise team, right, coming in as top spot from the Gauntlet. It doesn't seem like they've kind of lived up to that target, but they definitely have shown a lot of potential, right? Specifically, a lot from Amori. The guy has been a massive clutch. The issue is that they haven't been able to channel that in the right directions, into the right situations. It seems like he is always having to clutch rather than being able to perform as a solid line.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think that Amuri right now, if I'm looking at this objectively, I would say Amuri is really the only player here who is up to standards of a PMGC.
Wow.
I think that the rest of the team all has a lot of experience on side. I think for Marth, you could say that as well, to be honest with you. But I just think this team needs a little bit more experience on side. Ida has had a lot of experience in the past, but at this level, maybe not, right? However, the potential could skyrocket for this team over the next year. They could even make it happen on this PMGC, you know, if they're able to find the right zones, the right circles. But my point stands. For R8, there's still a lot of potential for this team. And just because Amuri is clear ahead of the rest of them, in my opinion, doesn't mean the rest of the squad can't get there, because they absolutely can. Ida can. Prestige has had a long history in PUBG Mobile, and I think that Marth, you know, taken under the wing of Amuri, so could be that guy for the clutch moments, much like Mafioso used to be for Alpha 7.
We were talking too much about Amori, and he did go down. He tried to roll out for R8 on the northwestern side towards Rekankaya. And nothing else happened after
Nothing
that.
else
He
happened.
did not. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Meanwhile, the circle moves away from that south side a little bit more. Team Flash not going to have the assistance there at the moment. Ulf having a pretty good compound on that corner of the road. And Alter Ego, as two, they're going to have an amazing game because they don't have Rosemary.
We have to stop saying.
I will not be stopping.
We have to stop saying that. I feel like I've gone so hard on Rosemary today. I've tried to make it clear that I think he's fantastic as well, but I'm going to leave that team alone for a little bit. I feel mean.
You can have too much Rosemary. Such a thing exists. Marth. Ooh, gets spotted by Ulf off in the distance, but the burn is good over towards Goat Team. That's actually coming from D+, who are further south of this one. Seem to have an angle. Grenade over the top. It's just Prestige now remaining. Ida getting taken down. A lot of danger on this crossing. And they're not in the zone, Blank. They do still need to move forwards. Dropping these smokes, necessary to pick this back up. But APG, they're going to have angles. As soon as they step too far forwards, that's when D+ Kia chime in again.
I mean, there's definitely angles coming through from Ulf, but I do think here, behind this tiny little mound on the ground, it's possible to get one player up. Aaron, though, does find Ida. Squeeze out down from DXavier. Is this DXavier starting to pop up a little bit more? I'd love to see it.
Could be. Could be. Alpha 7, though, having a real tough time. Revo now the last to stand for them, in fact. As a solo player, this is good news for the teams chasing, but it's DRX who are still alive as well, who could be another major hurdle to cross. Revo gets spotted, and Alpha 7 fall. Blank, our top spot now will stay at that triple-digit boundary. So teams behind can chase. Reg and Kaya on the north edge have 5 elims already. They're looking to challenge up against Vampire, and beneath them, it's Ulf on that south side. Both from Turkey. We'll see if that familiarity is going to play into the wheelhouse of either Reg and Kaya or Ulf.
I mean, for Ulf, their position is not impenetrable, right? I think it's definitely possible to go for this. It will be tough, though. But there is a large amount of area, even on the east side, that Ragnar Kari could head over towards. What they really need to do at the moment, though, is clear out the majority of the north. If they can clear out the majority of the north, then their life gets a lot easier. They could even opt not to fight Ulf until later on in the game. But yeah, I think at the moment for Regnum Kaya, this is very much opportunistic gameplay. But with 5 elims in the match, again, we said it before, Regnum Kaya, they're all about that consistency. They can set themselves up for success in that early game. Eventually, they're going to start to figure out that second rotation, which is what they absolutely have done today, I would say. And I think the assessment is that Regnum Kaya is on the up and up from here.
I feel like Regnum Kaya in a 3-day tournament are a force to be reckoned with. I think when it comes to 2 days, they're a little bit easier to subdue. But in 3 days, on that stretch, they get a read. Somehow, they're able to just download that information. Well, I know how, it's Silas, but, and well, to be fair, they do have analysts and coaches and things behind the scenes as well, but it's a steady head on the shoulders that is guiding them to victory in matches. Unfortunately, though, they've just lost Wild to a knock, and Vampire going to try and test them now. Lazarus spotted, though, heavy hits coming through from Loxy, and a nade over the top from Zedwolf to keep Wild safe for a little bit longer. Steps back over towards a nade, though. Zedwolf, be careful. Just about dances out of the way of that one. Maybe the second follow-up will be a little bit more potent towards him, though. Does do damage, but doesn't take the cake on the shot. That nade again, nearly taking him down. He is getting out of the way, but he's running straight into the firing line of the next one. Gets a flush, gets that knock, and Vampire, they're doing damage of their own. Regnum Kaya down to 3, now have to cross the road all the way south. Vampire really making them suffer.
Yeah, there's this case where Vampire is able to move up, but they would just not leave Regnum Kari alone. So it forces poor Zedwolf in that position where he is desperate to get a second knock there. If he's able to get the second knock, then maybe they would have had time to get Wild back up, but they're going back for it in earnest. There's a swing pass coming through from Loxy. That makes life so much easier now for Regnum Kaya.
And they go for another one. Gooey down as well. Zedwolf does get knocked, and it's a 1 versus 2 now on the challenge. Vampire caught lacking. Will not be able to pick up the teammates now. It's all up to Miaula as he goes out wide with the shotgun shells, trying to play close range. Zedwolf needs to get picked up fairly quickly under the vehicle. Shut down there. Comes through from Silas. able to stop the funny business. They lose Wild, but they stay alive as 3. They're up to 7 elims now, Blank.
Loxy just smearing bat blood across the desert here was disgusting work. Xavier getting backed off the position from ThunderTalk, who are shifting into gear sighting very soon.
Nades up. Xavier not connecting, but they use it as cover. Moving forwards, that short plateau really stopping them short, and actually APG chiming in. That is bad news for Xavier. They lose 1, very unlikely to be able to stick around for that res, for that revive. D+ also trying to step towards Paragin, but Nolbu just about able to win that trade. ThunderTalk might try and step forwards, take that point away from them, but no, a second elim found. It is, however, just Nolbu now left standing on the south side for D+.
And Flash is in his way, so it's sort of unlikely that's going to go through. I got worried for Xavier there because I did feel like ThunderTalk was just going to send it. Luckily they didn't. For Ulf, they actually have a lovely spot to work with, and I think that for Regnum Kaya, their option here is sort of to crash E Arena, but even then Ulf's going to have sightlines over towards us. This is a very tough push for them.
Do you wait for DRX to make a move though, out on that east side?
You've no idea. You've no idea they're even there. They've been quiet for a long, long time.
That's true, but they do have 4 elims. Alter Ego,
oh, here it is.
They've been holding on the shack, and ThunderTalk go for the push on in. It's not going well to start, but King's trying to hop up. Immediately he's taken down. Moana gets shut down as well, but ThunderTalk are getting plinked away from those off angles, and AJ can only look on in dismay as his teammates are taken out, but so are Alter Ego. And that is going to leave us at 7 teams remaining. APG, 8 eliminations. Regnum Kaya on 7. And TRX on 4.
I only have 2 words for that. Gear sighting.
Oh. You had to do it to him. AJ super low on the rollout from the blue zone. Trying to travel on in down the roadside, but that's not going to be pretty, especially when the vehicle rolls away from you. Even the cover doesn't want to stick around. That's going to be ThunderTalk going down. APG, hang on a minute, there's a roll-up.
That's nice.
It's Regnum Kaya finding
That's
2 from
incredible.
APG. That is a huge pickup on their 2-2 split. Reapus is next on the menu. Silas hops out before the damage is done all the way on his health bar. And Loxy wants the rest of it. Over towards Doc, but he goes down. It's a trade-off. Can they get back in for the res, though? Can they get Loxy back to his feet? Because Seth falls down as well.
Very unlikely. I think right now, for Regnum Kaya, getting themselves up towards a top 3 is the highest priority. Loxy is 100% gone. I love the push though. I love the attempt. For Regnum Kaya, they are now just looking for a higher placing. Already a lot of eliminations on this game, but I do not see Flash allowing Silas to leave, and they do not.
Keep him under lock and key in the meantime. DRX still looking to chase towards Alpha 7. Another elim to look for, and will rack up the point. Yunbin now storming around the front, but caught by the off angle. Ulf should be able to clean this one up now, as DRX are drawn a little bit short of the mark. Don't think that they've crossed that 100-point boundary, which means that we're getting closer to locking in our Smash boundary. At the end of next match, we've still got 1 more Miramar to play today, but this should be an Ulf chicken dinner. And this might be able to put them close and in contention as well.
I think for Ulf, didn't they win the Erangel?
Did they win the Rondo? I think they won one today.
I thought they won the Erangel. The ones to...
Oh, maybe.
I'm not
sure. I think it might have been the Rondo. I think it might have been the Rondo.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. I have to go back and double check. But right now, they could be on for a big game here. 7 elims found. They're racking it up to 8 now. Second place locked in. Team Flash as well, getting into this one very late. And we know what they can do in the last moments of a Miramar. They do have a little bit of tenacity to them. But for Ulf, they're on 69 points, so now up to 70, I think, with that elim. So we'll be put on 80 with a chicken dinner. And if they can get those 2, that'd be 82. They very much would be within striking distance, Blank. And that's the aim of the game right now. Stay in that conversation. Keep up with the leader.
Zeus will not be making this pass from the rock here. And I think Tops will be the final member once again, as is tradition there for Flash. And the shots are clean from Aaron.
Put him back behind the rock. The rollouts there, the nade, the spray, the backseat swap out. And it is Ulf for a chicken dinner on our first Miramar of the day. They don't look super happy about it. It wasn't the biggest elim count, but it will still put them in the running. I think that puts them up to 81 points, Blake.
I mean, fantastic stuff. Two phenomenal Turkish teams. They've got